Long time no see, Tarmac Works fans. I haven't reviewed a Tarmac Works in years. Uh, Sometimes they have quality control problems, but the brand always corrected them. They sent me spare parts and stuff, so I like the brand. I just don't like all the liver subjects they do until now, the S-Cargo. So this is one of those pike cars that Nissan put out back in the late 80s, early 90s. The S-Cargo, they put around 10,000 of these out into the world. They're powered by 1.5 liter inline fours. But if you look at these images, it's a really goofy looking vehicle. But in particular, what I like about it is look how tall that thing is. Like this is an Impreza right here. You could fit a bicycle, roll that thing right in there, and be good to go. So, panel versions, somewhere a round window and a big square window version. All right, let's take a look at this thing. I guess the box is bigger than usual because it is a tall vehicle. One pack, the trading cards in here. Come on, I don't need to have trading cards. You're just making me buy stuff I don't want. Anyway, so that's not good. There's a hologram here, and I guess the rear actually does open. It is licensed as well. Oh, there are chase card. Oh, chase card. I thought maybe there could be a chance of a chase car model, that is. Alright, well, at least the box is cardboard. I'm not buying a giant display case. Alright, so that's nice and oh boy, that is unnecessary. Look how small this thing is. Right? Basically buying air and a bunch of trading cards I never wanted. Why is this thing sticking up? It's like a sticker almost. And there's only 2 cards in here as well. Well, let's take a look here. Well, I gotta say, it's a nice card. This is a nice thick cardstock. Virgin stock, it looks like, being so white. Glossy paper. And then, okay, so this is nice, right? I'll have to teach you about the car at least. 89, the POW, Figaro, and the BE1 were the other Pike cars. Right, Escargot, the snail. Height, over a meter tall. Yeah, must have been great for deliveries. I would own one just to carry bicycles around. Only 73 PS, a 3-speed automatic, but it weighed less than 1,000 kilos. So that's that one. And then look at this card. It's all prismatic. So I will say that's nice. I kind of wish the image was the front 3/4 view. All right, so a different set of information here. Huh. I don't know what to think of this. The cards. I didn't want the cards, but I will say at least they're giving you useful information. Like you're actually learning about the vehicle. Although at the same time, they could have easily just put a lot of that text right on the box. Anyhow, this stuff I paid for. Alright, well, at least it showed up without damage. So the blister thing is effective. And so this is the presentation livery, I guess. And it coincidentally matches that color photograph very well because it is licensed. They probably gave Tarmac the paint codes. I also like the minimal interior. You notice the transmission is on the dashboard, so you can walk right across. You can walk in and out of that on either side very easily. So this one doesn't have the window in the back, but it's got stamped steel wheels. Let's see if I can... And then yeah, the curvature, they all look... Yeah, it looks right. Looks correct to me. And rear 3/4 view. Big squarish window. Unfortunately, it's got defroster lines on this model, right? Do you see defroster lines there? No, you see the inside of the vehicle. But now this one's just blocking the view with these defroster lines. Interesting trim going around the whole body of this thing. Alright, well, the wheels, they are body colored, so that's an interesting thing, I guess. I mean, I guess they can do that because the wheels are so cheap to begin with, being stamped steel wheels. Nissan, that is. And then this hubcap. It's just plain gray, and it's got a little silver for the middle. It does have nice recesses here. I wonder if those are passing air. Yeah, they are. Look at you can see, those are actually real holes in the wheels, so that's nice that they got that little detail there. Unfortunately, the tire doesn't seem to want to sit on this wheel very well. Let me take it off and see what's going on. Alright, so the centering rib, tread here on the tire, and what's nice about the tread is you don't see it from the side. So a lot of brands have a problem with having really big side tread blocks, and especially on hypercars. It's just strange to look at. Yeah, for some reason this tire doesn't want to sit on that wheel well. Yeah, I don't know, it's just not right. The rear one's not an issue. Okay, so it does roll, if that's your thing. Alright, interesting. They also future-proofed it to put it onto a plastic display base. Right, it would screw in here, and then there's a locator pins to keep it from spinning on the display base. What I like is it tells you the scale and what it is, and then also who made it. No copyright date though, so you wouldn't know how old this is if you bought this used like in 20 years. It is a metal base, it seems, if that matters to you. And it's screwed in the front, and maybe there's a tab in the rear. The muffler is part of the base. Okay, good enough details on the bottom. It's not a metallic paint, it's just like a cream colored tan color. And then the door handles raised, painted black. The lock is raised, painted silver. Also back here the fuel filler. Panel gaps are really nice and tight. Really tight actually. That's a really thin panel gap for a die cast. I'm more accustomed to seeing that on a resin model. That thing's raised, painted orange, and then you have this gray for all the exposed plastic, I guess, on the real car. And then this is all tampo printed, very nice. It's not a sticker, it's not a decal, it's not going to fall off, it's not going to go bad unless the actual paint goes bad, which it could because it's a die cast. Being flat windows, not much distortion going on there. And then you do have the raised molding here, painted black, and then you have the gray of the funky half circle mirror, and there's actually silver paint in there as well, so that's a nice touch. Going around to the front, we have orange here for the turn signals. Looks like a grill texture here, possibly. The front photo I pulled up isn't the greatest, but what else would that be? It's nice that there's something on the license plate. What I don't know is why is this so blended in? I feel like it should just be a sharp license plate thing coming out, but this is like scalloped in smooth transition. I don't think it's like that in the real car. Looking at that photograph, they could have easily made it sharp like they did here, right? So anyways, it's nice that it has inserted plastic light bulbs looking headlights. There's a little dimple back there, makes it look like a light bulb, but I don't think that's actually a peg going into the die cast. I think it's literally just glued in there. I have a runny nose, I apologize. I'm pausing the video a lot. Little wiper fluid bumps, painted black, very nice. Going up here, wiper blades. I guess they're molded into the plastic, but they look good. This side here, the bump there, what's that? Oh, unfortunately a contaminant got to the paint. Some sort of blemish. Also here, not the greatest. Okay. So the rear, we have a license plate printing with the two little bolt heads. Tiny exhaust tip looks okay. And then the printing here, let me focus in on this if I can. I don't know what that says. I've zoomed 4 times. Nissan and some Japanese text and maximum weight 300 kilos. So that'd be like two fat Americans. I'm just kidding. 3. Okay. So yeah, nice translucent taillights here. There's a dimple here. I don't know why that's there. It's interesting. The rear photos I pulled up have 2 different taillights. This is the backup here, but on a different photo, this is red. So I'm not sure. The years they made different changes to the taillights, or different export markets perhaps. Anyways, raised silver for the lock and the hand grab, and then the black molding there. But sadly, this is totally unnecessary, right? You can't see defroster lines on real cars unless you're standing right next to the window. It's just a waste of paint, and it makes it difficult to see inside. That printing looks really nice though. So the gray up here coming across, you have the tarp roof, and sadly a chip of paint is gone. But at least it's black, I can fix that easily. Alright, so I'm still magnified 4 times, so unfair on a diecast. You're gonna see the details, right? That's what you're paying for. If you don't like details, just collect Hot Wheels. Standard molded interior, I guess, as far as the details go. But you see they got the transmission stock there. That little T-shaped thing of the transmission thing. And then the steering wheel does have this turn signal and wiper blade stocks. And it's a hollowed steering wheel. It looks like it's only one arm on the steering wheel, right? I can't see any arms here. What's going on? Where's that thing? Yeah, it's just one vertical bottom arm. Interesting. Some HVAC controls there. I can't get the light in there. Even a foot pedal is molded in there. That's a nice touch. The door panel, pretty plain. Armrest there. This is not a luxury car, so you can't expect much. The real car, it doesn't have a nice interior. Looks like a split bench seat for these seats here. Interesting. There's a rear view mirror. Okay, well, let's open up the back. I gotta blow my nose. So the question is, can you open this without tools? Can I actually use the hand grab? I don't think I can. So I'm gonna jam this toothpick in here. Or try to get my fingernail in this. Nope. That thing's really... I'm not sure if there's like wet paint perhaps. Oh, there we go. But yeah, you're gonna have to probably... Maybe it'll work loose later. There could have been some stuck paint or something. It actually hinges okay. Not so bad. Not much resistance. I assume... Well, I don't know. That doesn't make sense as a rear seat because it's too low. Maybe that's like a parcel wall to keep things from slamming forward. It almost looks like there's a track system on the side of the rear of this thing, so maybe that's used to tie things down, or yeah, what else would it be, right? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of delivery vans were using what was the fate of this vehicle in the real world. Okay, some press fittings to keep it all together. Alright, well, I guess that's fine. As far as die-cast fitments go, it's well, it's okay. It's not the greatest. Die-cast generally has to have sloppiness. Okay, so here's a plastic toy of another Pike car, the BE1. I think it was Statso that made this. It's weird when companies don't tell you. They don't take credit for the things they make. This was licensed, I believe. That's all plastic, but it's actually pretty well done. This is Takara Tomy Arts made this one. This is the Figaro, which is another Pike car. I added my own license plates and wheels to this though. So the only one I don't have is the POW. That's the one I don't have. But I do have a POW in Chorokyu form. This is deformed, but it's got like corrugated paneling. I also have a Chorokyu of the S-Cargo. I 3D printed my own JDM wheels though. So Chorokyu is actually not far off from the real thing, because the real thing is quite goofy looking. Alright, let's get the churros out of here. So another snail-like object is the original 2CV by Citroen. This is by Shuko. They're not a really good die-cast brand in my opinion. But that was acceptable, I guess. And now, let's see, what is this thing? This is Daihatsu Mira. This is by TLV. And it's another super tall, boxy looking van. And the last one is the Nissan Cube. This is by Statso as well. So it's all plastic, but it's actually okay. So I actually think this is even cooler because it's even taller, assuming these are to scale. This is a K-class car, I think. That's why it's so narrow. Yeah, But I really like vans because you can just jam a lot of stuff in them and not worry about scratching up the inside of your car and all that stuff. It's a shame more companies don't make stuff like this. I think we're in a day and age where, since all cars look the same, at least give people more utility, the ability to do more with their vehicles. I think this would make an interesting, like, camper conversion. Make a camping car out of it, or even like an off-road camping version. Lift it a few inches, put some big tires on there, and then make it an off-road base camp. That'd be interesting. All right, well, a few, problems. Basically, the chip of paint missing from up there is the biggest problem on this one, but it's tolerable. But yeah, that's, I guess, par for the course in this hobby. Not all models are perfect. Leave a comment. What do you guys think about the trading card thing? Because those things aren't free, and if all these companies just start adding stuff you don't want, right? Is that what you want to have in this hobby? Do you want, like, things costing twice as much so you're buying stuff you don't want? Me, I don't. But I gotta say, they are nice trading cards. That holographic one was really cool looking. But truthfully, I'm probably just gonna throw that box and those cards into the trash after this video. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you the next time around. Bye.